I would like to talk about my mother, who was, I think, like Samson's mother. And the reason why is that uh, Samson's mother was a woman who was barren, and she had an encounter with the angel of the Lord. And she told that she was going to conceive and bear a child, that he that the she would take the Nazarite vow, uh, that it was not to drink wine or similar drink or strong drink, not to eat anything unclean. They wouldn't allow to eat raisins or anything that was made from grapes, and no razor would come upon his head. He would be a Nazarite. Samson would be a Nazarite to God from his mother's womb, and I think it was that he would be preserved, so because he was going to break these vows. And he started with his wedding. He got drunk, and then he had touched the dead. He killed the lion. He went back to the lion and grabbed the honey out of it. Eating what was trafe, and then he went and took the jawbone of a donkey and made a poem about it, killing in I think it was Judges chapter 15. Then has a meeting with a harlot, engages in morality, um, and then he meets this woman, uh, and she is given money to coax him out of his secret. Now, when you look at all, he should not have even he should have just lying to her and saying, "Weave my hair into to," or put me on fresh strings, tie me up with fresh strings. And finally goes out and he says, "Cut off my hair." And he looked, all it was himself. And what he should have realized, it was from God, because God had commanded his mother to take the Nazarite vow and that he would be preserved. And we see what happens, that um, he gives it a secret. His hair is cut off, and then he realizes now he can't get away. He's like a weak, an ordinary man without his hair. And what would be assigned? He was assigned to grinding wheat. Now, this was a woman's work, to grind wheat, and so he wanted his women. He went after the ungodly woman to marry her. Then he consorted with the harlot, and then he let himself be deceived by Delilah. And when it goes, says that Paul said in Galatians that whatever, do not be deceived, for God is not mocked. He was taking what God had given him and consuming it to his own lust, and now he was paying the price for sowing to his flesh. Because it says, also goes on to say, God is not mocked. Whatever man sows, that he will also reap. If a man will sow according to the flesh, he will reap corruption. And at the end of his life, Samson would turn back to the Lord. I think you will see Proverbs 22 and verse 6. It says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, or he should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it." And what is supposed to be, is marriage is part of a man and woman raising godly offspring. And this is what Samson should have been doing. And now, uh, and I look at this as like my mother, Marilyn. She'd only have a brief time on this earth. It was just 26 years, a quarter century plus 1 year, and 26 years. And, that she didn't realize that, my grandmother said something to her, said, she had spent 3 years in the army, and then she came home. My grandmother said, "You gave the army 3 years, give me 1 year." And what she was looking at was becoming a spinster. And she went back to the army and married my father. And he was a man who didn't know really about how to be a husband or a father. Let me say this. And my mother ended up going down a flight of stairs and breaking her head and living just 4 more days. But what she did, Bible says, Proverbs 27 and verse 1 that, do not boast about tomorrow, for no one knows what a day may bring forth. And I found a certificate, and I found that my mother had received Yeshua as the Messiah. And, it was just like only a month and a half to go. Just like, a deathbed salvation. And it was like just maybe less than, I don't know, maybe less than a month ago, a little more than a month. But like Samson's mother, she took the vow, and my mother, who ran ahead, who ran to avoid being a spinster, and would, but she would find even in the last months of her life the way to God through Yeshua, and being identifying with the mikvah mayim. And I wonder about my mother. Now it's not, I don't look back with my mother. I'm going to be 68 this week, and I know that I can look forward, and it's maybe, I don't know how much more time. And after I meet Yeshua, then I'm going to look for my mother. That I know that she's in heaven. I think even my grandmother's in heaven. I hope my father repented of his sins. But the most important thing is that, just like Samson, my mother made a decision. My mother found Yeshua, and probably she prayed for me and my brother, and that prayer was answered. So, just think about it, Mom. With that child, you may be just on your way to becoming a mother. You're carrying a new life in you, or you know that like Samson's mother. You got to sanctify yourself and also the father. Amen.